microphone.
You asked him. He listens.
Oh, we're supposed to be quiet. Nice shirt, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Oh, that's a boar's head, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Good for you, man.
A little gift.
Oh.
Little gift.
Shut up, Smith, will you? He's smiling, though.
Good Friday morning, guys. My name is Jerry Miller, and thank you kindly for joining us on Real Talk with Keith Smith. This show is something I look forward to every single week, especially the shows where it's Keith and I and Judah, the three musketeers having a good time talking about real estate, life, and the pursuit of happiness through sound decision-making. Keith Smith embodies that every aspect of his life, does he not?
I was thinking Three Stooges. And as you were talking, I'm thinking, so who's Mo?
I set
who's
that up
Curly?
for you really well.
Thank you. Who's Mo? Who's Curly? Right? And who's Shemp? Who wants to be who?
Oh, man.
He doesn't want to play.
He doesn't want to. No, he doesn't want to
play today.
No, he doesn't want to play that game. Judah Wickower.
I'm going to go with Three Stooges.
He's the man behind the camera, Judah Wickower. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot we're going to cover on the program. We have data. We got some predictions on how things may change. We have on today's program an award winner to announce with the award on site. We have some predictions for the fourth quarter. We want to thank Yes Realty Partners for being a part of the program. Yes Realty Partners, a firm that is clearly having a significant positive impact on this community. Like and share the show anywhere you are watching. We thank Intrastate Service Company for being a part of the program. ISC, Intrastate Service Company, a home's best friend. Studio camera, Judah Wickower. Studio camera, as we welcome the star of our program, Keith Smith.
So we'll go back to ISC real quick. My ADD just kicked in. Do you know why in the market that we're in right now that ISC is a home's best friend?
Oh, yeah. You want me to tell you?
You can go ahead and tell me.
Because in the market we're in right now, the buyers do not have a lot of patience for homes that are not up to spec and standard. An Intrastate Service Company, a home's best friend, can go in and get a home up to spec and standard very quickly.
Yeah, well, there you go. How long have we been doing this?
I've been doing this a while. I've learned from the master.
We're in our 6th year. Well into our 6th year.
How many shows is that, Keith?
I didn't count. It's more than 3. If it's above 3, I get lost.
This guy has done what? Are we approaching 1,000 episodes of Real Talk with Keith Smith?
No, I don't think we're that.
We're over 700 episodes of Real Talk with Keith Smith.
I'd have to count. One of these days I'll go count.
Ladies and gentlemen, think about this. This talk show, Real Talk with Keith Smith, 6+ years.
Yeah, 6 years, yeah.
Of airing on this network, starring this man,
and I still
Keith
freaking
Smith,
say hello to you.
with partners that make the program possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Partners like El Mariachi, Fincham and Associates, Charlottesville Settlement Company, partners like Yes Realty Partners, partners like Keller Williams, Intrastate Service Company. I mean, just some of the best, Keith.
Without a doubt. But, back on that ISC, and it's absolutely true, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about what price value is selling in Albemarle County to answer the question that a couple of real estate agents, a couple of elected officials.
We have elected officials watching the program.
Yeah,
say hi to Kevin Sullivan watching the program.
Hello, Kevin. How are you today, sir? I'm working on that stuff for you.
Come on now.
I'm working on that stuff for you. I was busy getting awards. Give me a break.
Let's go.
You want me to actually work?
Friend of mine, Fred Keeves.
You actually want me to work? Oh, man, that's crazy. So anyway, having a house ready is super important right now. And we're going to talk about a little bit later on, where the markets are going, that zip codes that we've been talking about. Are we moving the needle from a seller's market to a buyer's market? And you'll find since last week that needle's moved a little differently. It's pretty interesting on it. But, go ahead and the house has to be in great condition and updated for buyers to do that. And that's where the buyer's mindset's at. So,
cool. I want to embarrass you a little bit.
I don't do that.
We got data. We got stuff we got to cover. Can I highlight this, that Keith Smith is an award winner? Now, let's cut to the chase. The man's won many awards, but he just recently won an award by the Virginia Realtors Association. He has that award on set, ladies and gentlemen, an award that is
am I supposed to take
crystal,
this thing
it's heavy, it's in front of him, it comes in a fancy-dancy case, presented in a fancy-dancy event. Come on, get it high, show it loud, show it proud. Look at that.
A little bit higher.
A little higher. There we go. Put it right in front of your face right there. You can see. They can see you through the face. There it is. Virginia Realtors Association, Good Neighbor Award.
Look, I'm flattered.
This man has done over 700 episodes of Real Talk with Keith Smith. He won an award. He's creating housing affordability in this community.
Permanent.
I mean,
permanent affordable housing.
Dude, that's
that's what I'm most proud of. But I'm absolutely flattered. This is awesome. You know, people that I had not had any idea put me up for this. And it's just awesome. But I'm also in some great company, right? You know, Michael Guthrie and Denise Remy. So I'm just blessed.
Denise Remy?
Remy, thank you. To be in that same, I can't even say my last name.
Two friends of the program.
You know, just to be put in that category. But, you know, I wouldn't be able to do this because I'll be frank, it's a ton of time to put in for this volunteer stuff that we do for permanent affordable housing. And a shout out to my lovely wife, Yonna, because
love Yonna.
You know, I don't want to use the word let, but she supports my passion on this. And so, you know, this belongs to a lot of people, not just me. And I know that sounds so cliche-ish.
That doesn't sound cliche at all, my friend.
But it's true. It is absolutely true.
Does not sound cliche at all. Nate Kibler, welcome to the program. Mr. DL, welcome to the program. Holly Foster, the Queen of Henrico, welcome to the program. Aaron King, Ellie Tucker. I see 5 real estate firms watching the program right now. Chad Wood, thank you kindly for joining us. Juan Sarmiento, thank you kindly for joining us. Mustache Dan Pettit, 4 elected officials watching the program right now. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
So, who sang that?
You know who sang that.
I know who sang that. I'm asking you to
Who made that line famous in a movie?
Oh, well, Jerry Lee Lewis sang it.
Yeah, who made the line famous in a movie?
That I don't know.
Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Judah, 3-shot. I think Judah Wickower embodies goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Look at this man over here. Who made that line famous? Goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
I can't think of it.
Tom Cruise, Top Gun. When he was singing with Goose at the bar with Meg Ryan sitting on the piano. Callie McGinnis.
Oh, I'm actually going to correct you on that.
No, that's correct.
And it was not that. It was Goose that was singing it.
And Tom Cruise was singing with Goose.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, they were singing it together.
Right. So
that's one of the ways Maverick impressed Kelly McGinnis and wooed Kelly McGinnis into...
So I was in San Diego not too long, I guess in the summer. We went to the bar where that actually was filmed. So there's an actual bar right outside of San Diego.
Do they champion that scene in the bar?
Yeah, it's all
pictures everywhere.
It's all full of that stuff. Okay, so elected officials, Albemarle County.
Yes.
Were you able to load this up?
Oh, he's got it loaded.
Got it. Thank you.
Locked and loaded.
So we're calling it slide A because we only got one slide. Isn't that? Yeah, I'm not too. It was the biggest preparation for today. Got one slide.
Does it need a moniker if it's the only slide?
Probably not.
Okay.
But here's the problem. It says slide A on the bottom.
Slide A. Put slide A on
that's
screen.
That's what we're gonna do. So look, the reality, and this shouldn't be a big surprise to most people. These are broken down, the front end and the back end. So the 0 to 200 is a larger grouping, and when we get to the higher level prices, there's more of a spread. But in the middle, they're $50,000 spreads, because according to Homes.com and Realtor Zillow, all these search engines, people searching $50,000 increments. 750 to 800K. This is year to date. We had 85 closings. By far, the next closest range was 600 to 650 at 62. So you were floating somewhere between 500 and 750 in the 50, 60, 40 range. And then it shoots right up to 85, and then it starts taking a deep dive after that. So the sweet spot at the moment is that 750, 800 range at 28 days on market. Those are average days on market. But I provided this data for them, and hopefully it's helpful to kind of get an understanding of where we're at. But when you're starting looking at the lower price ranges from 0 to, say, 350, you're somewhere in the 12 to 20 range. It jumps up around when you hit that 350 to 450 to 28. But it's
so viewers and listeners,
it's a good visual.
If you're not watching the program, you're missing very important data on real estate in Albemarle County. Stephanie Wells Rhodes watching the program. She says, "Can I just say how much I miss you guys on a daily basis? Keith, can't we get this back to 2 or 3 days a week, please? And does the wink face. Literally, she leaves that comment. And Judah's been hearing this left and right as well.
So you all know I'm Catholic, right?
I'm just letting you know
Okay.
what the viewers and listeners are saying,
yeah,
including
go.
Stephanie literally moments ago. So the graph that he put on screen, homes sold in Albemarle County by price category, and he's also highlighting the days on market for
These
those
are
units
average.
sold.
These are average.
Average. Let's cut to the chase. If you have a house in Albemarle County, if you own a home in Albemarle County, you're sitting on stacks right now. The appreciation in Albemarle County is pretty significant. I will also highlight this, and then I'll get out of the way of the star of our program, Keith Smith. The category with the most units sold right now is the 750 to 800,000 price range. 85 units sold. I also want to highlight this.
Single family detached.
Single family detached. I also want to highlight this, then I'll stop. The million plus category in Albemarle County is extremely active.
It is, but the
extremely
volume.
active.
Neil Williamson taught me this the other day, right? You know, volume matters, right? Particularly in your hair. Volume matters.
This is Palmade.
Yeah, well,
Palmade and Trusted Made number 4.
so at my age,
I got a fresh haircut.
I saw that. I was going to compliment you on it. It
Thank
looks
you.
good on it.
I kind of did that as a way to get a...
Attaboy out of me. Attaboy. I actually went to me going, oh shit, oh shucks. I got to get a haircut before I go out to Phoenix next week and speak.
What were you going to say? Well, the older
I
you
lost
get with
it.
the hair, the
Oh
older,
yeah. You got to let the volume happen because I'm thinning out to cover some of the spots that are.
Your hair looks great, dude.
Well, thank you for lying to me, but I appreciate
sincerely
that.
mean that.
Yeah. Well,
The only person that gives you grief about your hair is...
everybody in my family.
No, your mother. Doesn't she give you grief?
My daughters, my wife.
Your daughters give you grief?
Oh God, yeah.
Yonna does?
Oh God, yeah.
What do they say? Your hair's fantastic.
No, that I pay too much attention to it.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha.
So, but volume matters, right? So, you know, you're 100% right. You know, the 1 million, you know, when you're looking at the one, you know, because I broke down $50,000 increments all the way up to 1.25 million. You know, you had, you know, 18, 20. So, no, they're low, mid-range double-digit numbers, but 85 is a huge number.
Huge number.
And just
Huge number.
if you look at the chart, it's visually stunning that that particular price range right now is outperforming, is maybe a good choice of words on that. What I found interesting, which is, you know, there's not that many 3 million and ups, but you see the days on market on those numbers. So when you're 3 million and up,
57.
Yeah, but
I mean, 57 in the grand scheme of things for 3 mil and up is not bad.
so.
I mean, I understand
Which is
what you're
interesting
saying.
because you brought up a point, right? Because when I was preparing all of this stuff at 0:30 this morning, you know, I was thinking to myself, I know, it hurt. I was thinking to myself that, you know, there was, 90 was like the norm.
Right, that's what I'm
Right?
saying. I know.
But what's happening here is I think these DOMs are being reset, right? And we'll talk about this in a little bit, but, you know, even though this is pretty dramatic,
Yeah.
I really think we're shifting into a buyer's market, and it's a unique animal that we've never seen before. And you know, our
See, I push back on that. I mean, you're the professional over here. Do you still have the chart up? We've had that up for a long time. Let's
So
go back to a two-shot.
Let me tell you why. Because it depends. Look, it always depends on the 6 rights, right? Location, price, features, condition,
Yeah.
timing, and who's on the other side matters. You know, even with the interest rates kind of stabilizing a little bit, 30-year mortgage rate stabilizing a little bit,
Low 6s.
low 6s. Don't think it's going to go too much lower than that, by the way, for the rest of this year.
Maybe not the rest of this year. Q1, Q2 could be different.
That's a different story.
Yeah. Next year, after the election.
I think you're going to see. I think the 30 years have been priced in already, you know, to the reduction that Powell did. And unless all of a sudden there's a magic another one, then that might impact.
And they're talking about that before the year's end.
Correct. That might do that. But what's happening is, at least what we're seeing out in the marketplace, even at this top end number, if it isn't right, if it doesn't have the right features or the right conditions, those two particular items, the buyers are just passing on it. And that's what's happening. And it's unique because when you start looking at inventory that is anemically low, that's not normal, right? When you have interest rates kind of stabilizing and inventory staying low, generally, it's considered a seller's market.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting. I'm looking at the index that we have for Altos right now. So 22902, to your point, is actually went up from last week. Last week when we were talking about 22902, we were saying it was right at 30.
Right.
Right. It is now at 35.
Meaning more balanced is what he's alluding to.
So let's put that a little bit of context because folks can't see what I'm looking at here.
Yeah.
So
First, let them know what you're doing.
Yeah.
The who, what, when, where, why.
Yes, dear.
Yeah.
So, yes, dear. Nice haircut, by the way.
Thank you.
Altos Research
Yeah.
is what I belong to, and this is like a national data firm, and you can plug in Social Security numbers. You can do that too. I'll take anybody's. You can plug in zip codes. You don't want mine, trust me. You can plug in a zip code, and it will tell you based on their matrix, and it's between 0 and 100, right? 30 is the balance point where it goes from sellers to buyers. So last week, when we put 22963 Friday on the show, the number was right, just like 31, 32. We've actually gone up 4 points on that in the 22902 zip code. 22901, on the other hand, let me go ahead and do this real quick.
Ray Cadell, welcome to the
Hey,
show.
Ray, how you doing,
Lloyd
bud?
Snook, thank you for watching the program.
So, and it's interesting because it changes by week. 22901 went down actually over last week. It went down. Last week it was at 48. It's now down at 44. So these are minuscule.
Put that on screen.
Oh yeah, if you can do that, that'd be cool. Thank you, Jude. How awesome you are.
Great guy. A-plus guy.
Look at you.
The Elmer's glue of the network, Judah Wickhauer.
Yeah. So if you have it on the screen and people come, would you do 22901 or 2?
01.
22901 on screen.
So if you take a look at it, you can see where last month, which was really last week, it was higher than it is now. But if you switch it to 22902, and if anybody wants a zip code, we'd be more than happy to.
I'm going to make a bold prediction for you.
I know you are. That's the reason I've been talking.
Bold prediction for you.
But that's interesting that
I find
22902 went up.
I find it interesting. Here's the bold prediction for you. You're the expert.
Thank you, Jude.
I just learned from the experts. Read a lot.
I look at pictures.
Remainder of the year, you have an opportunity, if you're a buyer, to get into this market, and you have an opportunity to negotiate some concessions. You have an opportunity to maybe get some home inspections, some closing costs, maybe chop down the price a little bit. You have some concession opportunity depending on where you're at. When we get into first and second quarter of next year, when this election is behind us, and as that rate drops more, because we know the Fed is going to continue to chop, and we're going to start getting into fives. And when we get into the fives, it's going to start appealing to people that have significant equity in their home.
I don't disagree with that at all.
It's going to become more of a seller's market.
I had this conversation and I'm going to look at it here real quick. Just out of curiosity, 22963.
Jamie Turner, I'll get to your comment. The mayor of Gordonsville in a matter of moments. Go ahead, Keith. Or do you want me to get to his comment?
You can get to his comments. I just want to.
JT, neighbor tried to sell their house. It did not sell. Numerous price decreases, pulled off, did updates, etc. Still did not sell. Up the street on the market for a few months, sold after $50K price reduction back in 2021 value.
Yeah.
One sitting, I think he's living in Culpeper now. I know he's repping the pep in Culpeper right now. One sitting on the market right now in another area of the neighborhood, $50K reduction back to 2021 value. No bites yet. Not looking good in the neighborhood right now, unfortunately. That's in the pep.
Yeah, so that's in Culpeper?
It's in the Culpeper.
In the Culpeper.
In the
Yeah.
pep. He's repping the pep.
Yeah, I can't dig into those numbers because I don't have access to them. We'll have soon, by the way, but don't have access. No. Don't even.
You.
Go. You. It's you.
It's you.
You.
You get yourself in trouble.
I do get myself into trouble. I excel at that. It's all about location, price, features, condition, timing, and who's on the other side. you're seeing these price reductions, but I don't like the term price reductions. They're probably adjusting their price to what it should have been in the first place, right? I like that, huh? Hey, did I tell you I got an award?
Oh, God. I don't like the term price reductions.
But I think I just used it.
But they're adjusting the price until what it should have been when they start.
Did I ever tell you I fool around in politics a little bit?
Oh, God, that was hilarious.
Yeah. So price matters more now, and the features and the condition in it, but back to the days on market, and I haven't had a chance to take a look at it. Lake Monticello, what's got 20 houses on the market? I haven't looked at it this morning, but the norm for decades was in the 40s and the 50s, right? Houses on market. So
I don't think
this is becoming an inventory problem.
I don't think comparing Lake Monticello
It's just a snapshot. It's just a snapshot.
to pre-COVID is a fair comparison.
No.
There's going to be, when we look at this real estate market in Central Virginia over a 20-year timeline, we're going to have a clear dividing marker, pre-COVID and post-COVID.
Well, I think you're going to have two, actually. You're going to have the time of great unpleasantness and the unicorn years. So you're going to see, when you go back 20 years, I actually got a running spreadsheet.
2008 to 2028.
Actually, 7.
Okay,
But
2027.
Those who were caught up in it, trust me.
2007 to
It
2027.
started in 7.
Yeah.
Started in 7 and really ended in 10. But in any event, in those years, so you had your down, then you had your unicorn years, which is your COVID years, bounce on that. So, where is the balance? And that's what people are trying to figure out. Where's the balance? And, I'm just going to say this. I had a conversation with a couple of real estate agents, and I'm changing
You got a
gears.
boatload of them watching you right now.
I'm changing gears on you a little bit. Missed their car payments. The industry, is hurting, right? If you're successful, or I'm trying to couch these words so I don't really get myself into trouble.
10% of agents do 90% of the business.
Yeah.
Probably more like 8% of the agents do 90% of the business.
Yeah, I can tell you this much: 50% of the agents have done 0 transactions, more than 50%.
Think about that, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and then you've got to do a certain amount of transactions to pay your bills, right? And everybody's numbers different, everybody's splits are different, everybody's market that they do is different. But to your point, the pool of who actually
Make money
does well in this is not very, 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 very deep. And I kind of brought that up for a reason, is because I think you're going to see a reset happen in here, and I think you're going to start already seeing it with certain folks either putting their licenses in inactive or whatever. So I think you're going to see a shifting going on who's the volume of who. And maybe sounding like I'm going in circles here, but
I think you're doing a great job.
I think in certain micro locations, and it's not me, it's Altos, that needle is starting to move, right? Some aren't, and some are, and historically, the buyers adjust way faster than the sellers. So some of this stuff, like Jamie's talking about, it can come down to the individual house, right? Was it the wrong features? Was it the wrong design? Did they upgrade it with seafoam green toilets? Who knows what they did, right? I haven't seen it, right? Or shag carpet, unless that's coming back. I may have missed that. That's coming back. The 70s might be coming back. And I've got plenty of polyester.
Danny Hugas, welcome to the program. We should get Danny on the show.
Sure, get anybody on the show.
Rockstar realtor.
Save me here.
Yeah. You want me to offer some perspective?
No, just save me. I think I'm babbling.
No, I don't think you're babbling at all.
Okay. So look, it's always been important to hire a trusted advisor. It's even more important now to hire a trusted advisor. If it's ISC to get your house ready for the market, or whatever it is, Woody Fincham to do your appraisals.
Fincham and Associates? What?
To do that, to hire and hire somebody who's going to be honest and direct with you, and that's sometimes a hard thing. Like, I'm doing another deal here where Woody's helping us out that I told the client, I said, I don't think I can put a number to this. There's not enough data. So we're going to hire Woody to help us do this. And they appreciated that. They said, look, I could throw a number at you, but what I don't want to do is throw a number at you, be too high, and 2 weeks later we're going to have to start reducing the price and be part of what's going on and reducing the price. We've got 66, right now, last 7 days, we have 66 price reductions in the last 7 days in the car footprint. 78 homes came on the market, 82 went pending. So at the moment, we're still got more going off than coming on.
Why out of the gates with the inflated price, with so many reductions happening?
Yeah. So,
Jason Howard, welcome to the program. I'm serious. I sincerely mean that. I mean, the market is clearly, you call it shifting, you call it maybe balancing. I call it the market is being hesitant.
But don't you think?
And patient because we have an election and we're all extremely in tune with rates more than ever. And I think buyers realize that rates next year are going to drop.
100%.
And they're staying on ice.
100%. But one would have to, the people that are putting their homes on the market versus the buyers, that ratio has to change. And at the moment, it's not. And it's weird, right? Because there's more buyers in the market and less sellers in the market. But in certain locations, it's becoming a buyer's market. And I can't explain it, to be frank with you, because that's not normal. That's not normally how this works, right? But it is in reality, with listings, with buyers, with in the streets, doing the job. That's what we're hearing. And now maybe other real estate agents are hearing different. And I love their perspectives. But at the moment, if it does not check all the boxes, the buyer isn't going to pull the trigger. And that's what I mean by it's a buyer's market, right? It's not a numbers thing, it's a perception thing. Unicorn years,
it didn't matter.
4 walls, roof, and if it was relatively standing,
it sold.
It sold, right? That's gone. There's unique situations, right? There's, super deals that hit in the right location, yada, yada, yada. But I can tell you, I'm not hearing about multiple offers anymore. At least I'm not. I don't know if some other agents are hearing them,
Well, it depends on the location.
That is true. We had 2 at Lake Monticello that we priced exactly where we priced it just a skosh below market and got multiple offers in one day. On both things. But they were under the 375, 365 number. One was 375, one was 360. Right location, freaking awesome condition. We renovated the homes, right? And we got multiple offers. Stuff in the 9s, maybe not so much.
Viewers and listeners, let us know your thoughts. Andre Xavier, welcome to the program. Georgia Gilmer, welcome to the program. Jesse Rutherford, Bill Mooncachi, welcome to the program. Johnson Village's finest, Heather Walker, welcome to the program.
So tag Jesse.
Jesse, he's listening to you.
Tell him he's winning.
Jesse, you're winning right now. What is he winning at?
So he and I have a friendly bet for the Regional Housing Partnership on March, which he's part of the Regional Housing Partnership. We're doing a summit in the second week of March, and he and I have a competition of how much money we can raise, and he's winning.
John Snow, welcome to the program, formerly in the mortgage
business. But not for long.
John Snow follows this industry very closely, knows it very well. Let us know your thoughts, viewers and listeners. I mean, if you want to put the chart back on screen, Judah, I think the slide is very rich in data. Keith Smith, Yes Realty Partners, did a fantastic job putting this together. Very curious to see what Woody Fincham of Fincham and Associates has to say about this. Very curious to see what Katie West and Bill Tucker have to say about this. The $750,000 to $800,000 price range is clearly popping.
Yeah,
the interesting thing about the $750,000 to $800,000 price range with 85 units moved, it's slightly above. It's in the jumbo threshold.
It is in the jumbo threshold. It depends on how much money they bring to the table. Right?
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So jumbo.
I mean, if they're putting 10, you're right. I take that back. This gets into conventional. If they're putting 10% down, they're in conventional right now. What's the jumbo? It's 726.6, something like that?
For our region, somewhere around that. Yeah. I think they're going to bump that, by the way.
They have to.
But
that's a good point. So these are all probably conventionals with, at this point, this is a move-up buyer. And they probably have down payment there.
I don't think it's all a move-up buyer, to be honest with you. I think it's a move-in buyer.
You don't think the 750 to 800 is a move up?
I think it's a
non-conforming 2024 766 550.
Yeah, so that's where that's at. Because by the time you put 10% down, let's say you put 100 grand down, you're somewhere just in that. But to your 2 points that you made, that's why it drops from 83 to 30.
766 550 in Albemarle County. Charlottesville, and this is according to bank rate, which is very, very good. Charlottesville 766 550. So if at 800, if they're putting a hundy down,
Well, that's on the top end,
They're in conventional.
Correct. So between the 750 to 800, if you're buying in that range, to your point, with a 10% down payment, and some of these people are doing 20% at that price point. Right. You're clearly
Conventional.
That's the reason why the 800 to 850 plummets from 85 units to 38. Right? That's part of the reason, because if you start putting your 5 or 10% down, whatever you're putting down, you're still in the jumbo world, which is a different rate. Right? So you're going to have to put more cash down. So that's part of the reason why that step down happened, I think, on that area. But, I was asked by 2 board of supervisors to do this and figured this would be a good topic for a Batman and Robin.
Great topic for a Batman and Robin right now. Jon Snow says, good morning, viewers and listeners. Let us know your thoughts. We love your perspective. This one coming into the mix. Does Keith agree with Jerry's take that rates are going to drop early next year, even more than where they're at now?
Yes, only because historically, after elections, they tend to drop a little bit on it. I think a lot of it, I actually was reading an Inman article this morning. There are some economists that are actually predicting the 30-year to go up, right?
Well, Joanne Mackey, I'm going to get to your comment in a matter of moments. I'll tell you this, and this is not about politics. I've spoken with, let's see, Mo, Nick, Dean, Andy. I've spoken with 4 mortgage officers.
Yeah.
If Kamala Harris wins the election, you could see rates go back up. This is not about politics. This is strictly about real estate.
No, it's purely about the 10-year Treasury.
If she wins the election, you could see rates go back up.
Exactly right. So and again, it's not, we're
not talking politics on the
talking
program.
politics
It's
here.
one of the rules of Real Talk with Keith Smith.
No.
But that applies to this.
We can talk politics, just divisive politics.
Okay.
We can't talk about.
Yeah.
So you're 100% right. The
One guy I saw in the locker room at Boar's Head, this guy's in his boxer briefs, so I try to just keep my head up, eyeball to eyeball at this point. He said, if she wins.
For you, I forget about
she goes, here's.
That was a gig at your height.
It's very good. It's very good. It's one of the reasons I choose to go with the hair up right there. Gives me a little bit of lift. And you notice I got some new kicks here.
I noticed that. It was about a 3-inch lift.
A little bit of gifts. But he straight up said
when you come in with 6-inch stilettos, I'll get nervous.
He straight up said, I assure you, he used the word assure you, if she wins, the rates will go back up.
Yeah. So here's a great topic to talk about, right? Oh my God, Powell lowered it a half a point. It has almost zero connection to the 30-year mortgage rate. We've had mortgage officers, we had all kinds of people on it. It's the 10-year Treasury bill that has a direct connection to that. And what is the 10-year Treasury bill? It's Keith Smith taking a bet on the U.S. government to put instead of putting my money in the stock market or a portion of my money in the stock market or real estate or whatever, I'm buying a T-bill because I'm making a bet on the United States. If the United States gets into more debt, regardless who's at the head of the ticket or in the White House, the likelihood of me wanting to put money in there diminishes, which then causes 30-year mortgage rates to go up. That's kind of a Smith version of explaining on how this works. But that's how this is going to work, right? And
that was pretty good.
And
did a good job there.
What is the saying? Follow the money.
Follow the money. How about it? Can I go ahead?
If it goes a certain way, another way, whichever way it goes.
I mean, you can straight up say names.
Yeah.
James Watson, your brother-in-law, watching the program.
Yeah.
Say names. Use names.
Yeah. So if let's say it becomes Trump or whatever on that. So,
Neil Williamson, ¿qué pasa, chico? ¿Cómo estás, amigo?
Maybe that money becomes more comfortable with putting it in backing the U.S. government. Because that's what this is. That's what a freaking treasury bill is me taking a bet on the government and my making some money off of it.
Logan Wells-Clayla, welcome to the broadcast. Joe Colson, welcome to the broadcast. You did a great job. Alex Whitten, we love when you watch the programs. Alex Whitten.
I love when it's just you and I. Take me a while to warm up.
Show's on effing fire right now. I'm going to throw this to you. I'm going to read Andy Zeman. Did you see his Facebook post from a few days ago?
I did not.
After the Fed cut.
I was busy polishing my award.
Andy Zeman, I thought this was fantastic.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Now I think about it, I did read that.
He said 5 facts. I'll give the man a little plug here.
Yep,
Novus Home Mortgage, Andy Zeman.
There you go. Good job. Thank you, Andy, for your help on this one deal we're doing.
Andy Zeman.
Shut up.
5 facts about mortgage rates and the Fed funds rate. Number 1, mortgage rates are not tied to the Fed funds rate. They are driven by inflation, and the Fed funds rate is the gas and brake pedal of the economy.
Agreed.
Number 2, mortgage rates did not decrease today. He published this today. Powell cut 50 bips. Yeah. He said mortgage rates did not decrease when Powell cut 50 bips. In fact, they increased. Yep, they increased. Yeah. Number 3, the Fed rate reduction was good because it signals that inflation has cooled and that it's time to stimulate the economy. This is good for fixed income, Social Security, as well as fixed income investments like mortgages. Most loan officers do not understand these facts, so be careful where you get your talking points. Number 5, this will create a wave of buyers entering back into the market. And if you're on the fence about buying, then figure out which side you're on ASAP, like right now. And finally, he says the media will get this wrong. Please, for the love of everything, stop listening to the news except for Real Talk with Keith Smith and the I Love CVille show.
I guarantee you.
Andy Zeman, thank you very much.
You did really good into that.
Thank you very much, Andy Zeman. Joanne Mackey, Keswick's, one of Keswick's finest. She says this. I'll call her the Queen of Glenmore. Exactly. Location, location, location. I will never buy a present single-family house in the city. I see that 2 sold near my church off East Jefferson that have been razed and replaced with 2-family dwellings, just the start of upzoning. Furthermore, politics versus policies, Joanne Mackey says. The proposed economic policies that could get government involved in all aspects is the economy, too perfect, price gouging, will not work in a free market. I'm not sure what you're saying here.
When did he cut rates? Was it Tuesday or Wednesday?
Today is what?
Friday.
I think it was a Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday.
Well, I'm looking at it. The 10-year Treasury bill on Wednesday was at 3.65. It is now at 3.
Joanne, offer more clarity on your last comment right there. I wasn't sure what you're mentioning, but she has a fantastic mind for economics, and I want to relay what she has to say. Christopher Eagle, ¿qué pasa, chico?
So to Andy's point, between Wednesday and now, the Fed rate went up. The 10-year Treasury bill went up from 3.65 to 3.75. And the rule of thumb is you generally close to double that is what the 30-year mortgage rate is. So in theory, the 30-year mortgage rate. But I took some notes from Andy's thing, right? 100% right. The rate cut down is going to help your credit card bills. It's going to help the developers out there that have money. Your car payments.
Floating debt.
Exactly right. It's also
developers.
It's also going to help. That's part of LIBOR. It's also going to help where banks lend money to each other and so forth and so on. So do you agree that inflation has reduced?
Do I agree that inflation has reduced? My wife sent me this photo from the grocery store a few days ago.
I don't think it has.
This is what she sent me. She was at the grocery store. She said, I want to make sure I have the picture in front of me. She's at Wegmans. Eggs. Price of eggs.
There you go.
Large eggs, 18-pack. 2 for $8.40. I'm putting it on screen, holding my phone right here. The
So
picture.
2 packages of...
Two 18-pack eggs, 2 for $8.40.
Yeah.
She was astonished. So astonished that she asked the person next to her about this and literally said the price of eggs were dollars less just a short time ago.
Yeah.
Do I think inflation is in check? No, I do not. Do I think inflation is something that the majority of Americans are worried about? Absolutely. Am I seeing the price of fuel drop? Yes. Am I seeing housing? Am I seeing a lot of price reductions with housing? Yes. Am I seeing volatility in the job market? Yes.
So this inflation, this consumer inflation we're talking about, because I'm not putting housing in that category for the moment. That being said, it's a lot like we're talking about the prices of homes, right? There may be a reduction in price right now, but we're double where we were in many circumstances. So if it's reduced a little bit, it feels like inflation's going down, but X number of years ago, that number was 50%, depending on the top, depending, eggs or gas or whatever it was substantially less. So it's kind of a feeling thing. Okay, it's feeling like it's coming down, but is it really coming down?
I mean, gas is never going to come down to the $1.50 it was during COVID. It's never going to come down to $1.50 it was at COVID.
Again, I get myself probably politically in trouble here, but I think if we start using some of our own resources, that number would probably come down.
Dude, it was $1.50 in COVID because no one was driving and we had too much gas.
Yeah.
People were told by the government to stay home.
That's exactly right.
The only people that were driving to work during COVID in Charlottesville might have been the three of us in the I Love CVille studio. Do you remember?
I do remember. We had masks. It's just amazing how much time has went since then, right?
We had to, before the start of every show, use a tape measure.
Tape measure. Make sure we were 6 feet apart.
6 feet apart.
And now we're 8 feet apart.
John Snow, HELOC repayments are variable rates, and rates coming down will reduce interest-only payments. John Snow, props on that. Thank you, John Snow.
Yeah. I just put as a general rule of thumb, the 30-year mortgage rate is tied to the T-bill, the 10-year Treasury, not to Andy's point, not to what Powell is doing and the Fed's doing. It helps. It helps the pocketbook, right?
Yeah,
it helps
more money.
And the other difference between right after COVID and now, right? Everybody's credit cards bills gone up through the roof, right? So you had gas that was super cheap. Credit cards were not getting used. Now rates are going up, but look, tie it back to housing. Locate. Again, it's 6 things. There's 6 location. Then price matters more. And this is the conversation we're having. Price matters now more than anything. Unicorn years, it didn't matter, right? So, you really need a pro to help. And I'm not making a selfless plug here, but hire a professional out there, a trusted advisor to help you navigate this. You need a trusted advisor to help you navigate this, both on the buy and the sell side, because this stuff is changing every moment. Back to, I want to do 2 more shows a week.
You got a lot of comments coming in.
This makes me better.
A lot of people are saying, where are you, Keith? I'm literally seeing that on the feed here. Harry Tyson, your son-in-law, watching the program right now.
I got to go work on my tan.
He says,
guys.
Jerry, is that a 2-pack of 18, meaning 36 eggs for $8? Yes, that is correct, HT. Love Harry Tyson. It's Keith's son-in-law. My wife, Wegmans, earlier this week, 2 18-packs for $8.40.
So
Harry says, that sounds amazing to me.
Yeah.
We get a dozen large eggs for like $5 or $6 here in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Do you want to handle that response or should I?
No, I actually thought that was a good price, to be honest with you. But you're right.
It's up dollars in the last 60 or 90 days. Holly Foster, we miss you, Keith. Where are you?
Yeah. I'm working on.
Okay. I mean, I'm just relaying what the viewers and listeners are saying.
Yes, dear.
No, but comparing Charlottesville to Connecticut is not a fair comparison.
Well, yeah, because it's not making up this much, but things are more expensive up there, right? Taxes and
everything.
Yada.
Traffic, everything.
Traffic. Don't even talk about traffic, right? So you're 100% right. I would have compared thing. You know what my brain went to when you told that? At a guy who's knocking on mid-60s, I went, hell, my cholesterol level wouldn't handle.
I eat 2 hard-boiled eggs every morning.
That would wreck my cholesterol.
I got a hard-boiled egg over there waiting for me for after Real Talk with Keith Smith.
I see it.
Jamie Turner says we
you're
need
blessed.
Scott Morris back on. He's been shooting it straight on his page.
You are. I'd love to have Scott back. You are very blessed that you can do that. I
exercise religiously every day.
I do too, but there's a funny thing when you hit a certain age, your body just kind of laughs back at you and go, yeah. But yeah, so I'm working on it, guys. It's just we're busy but we're going to get there. There you go. That was my non-answer.
Collie Foster, congratulations on your award. Nicholas Irby, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you,
Love seeing Nicholas Irby, the star of Emergent of Today y Mañana, along with Alex, Michael, and Xavier. Harry Tyson, I was also comparing Wegmans in Virginia to Stop and Shop in Connecticut, so it's a little complex. I don't know much about the Stop and Shop in Connecticut. All I know is...
Stop and Shop is owned by Kroger.
Okay. I do know, and I think anyone watching to this program, regardless of the zip code, can relate to this. The grocery bill has gotten exponentially more expensive.
Yeah. And we're blessed. We're extremely
Keith and
blessed.
Yonna eat at Tabla 5 nights a week.
Actually, I don't want to get this out there. We haven't been there like in a month.
What? Where
for
are
this
you
very actually at home, believe it or not.
Okay. You're cooking?
I like to cook. I'm a bit of a chef. But it's a real thing, right? We're very fortunate. We do well, but I don't go out to eat as much as we used to because of this very reason, right? It's hard for me to say that because we love these people and we want to support them, right? But at the end of the day, the pocketbook was getting a bit thin on it. We're very blessed. We've got a ton of closings. Business is awesome, but it's impacting on how we're spending our discretionary dollars.
Kevin Yancey in Waynesboro watching the program. Kevin Yancey says, Keith, it depends on how much we drill. We are already the #1 oil producer in the world.
Oh, thank you. I did not know that.
I got this email from a potential client to be. We are meeting next week on how we can grow and expand his business, help him gain market share. He says, and I won't utilize the client's name, the business name. He said, we're celebrating our 60 years in business here locally.
Oh, good for you, man.
Still the same family that owns it.
Congratulations.
He says, I can offer some perspective on what's going on. I'm an avid listener of your I Love CVille show. He says, the state of small local business is not as rosy as it seems. Elevated rent, tight margins, and accelerated operating costs, insurance, etc. He says, I'm not whining, just passing along some facts. I would love to meet with you about this and how we can figure out some strategies to help stabilize.
No truer words have been spoken, right? And you don't hear a lot of that from the smaller local businesses, but rents are up. Everything we're talking about impacts the business side of things.
Kevin Yancey says, there it is, right there, people. Look at what Keith said. They don't cook at home, and suddenly, oh my gosh, they go to the grocery stores because it's expensive to eat out, and groceries are expensive and out of sight.
So back on that end of it, it's very interesting. Some of this you do subconsciously, at least we do. We think about it, but we don't really think about it. So we like chicken. I don't get as much chicken breasts as I do when I do now getting thighs, because it's a huge price difference. I also like it when I do my chicken cacciatore and stuff like that with it. It's the Italian in me coming out.
Okay. So he's buying more thighs.
Buying more thighs.
Okay.
We're going to leave that one alone. But in the last 30 days in the car footprint, according to the market monitor, 200, sorry.
That's good.
I got just saying if you picked up on my
Oh, I picked up on it. Are you familiar with the Hooters restaurant tagline?
I am not.
It's a legitimate tagline. It's PG-13, but it's in their marketing collateral. You know Hooters restaurant?
I do, yeah.
Their tagline
Never been
is,
to one, but yeah.
I've never been to a Hooters either.
Yeah.
Their tagline is this. Judah, do you know three-shot Judah? I'd love to weave Judah in the mix. Do you know the Hooters restaurant tagline, Judah?
You know, I don't think I do. I have been to a Hooters.
Which
but
Hooters
it's been a
have you
very
been to?
long time. What?
Which Hooters have you been to?
Let's see.
Sounds like
Probably
we're
would have
going
been on South Carolina.
Okay. Who'd you go there with?
Probably whoever I was working with. I was probably back when I was washing windows.
Okay.
I'd drive up to
Whoa.
drive up to Hilton Head
You
and
were washing windows?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Never
for
knew
like
that.
5 or 6 years.
Wash windows?
Like apartments? I mean,
Just houses and lots of
Really?
businesses.
interesting.
This was what, when you were fresh out of college?
During and after.
During and after college. You also delivered pizzas.
That I can see. Washing
Yeah.
windows is good for you.
Yeah. This is the Hooters.
That's hard to do right,
Dude.
by the way.
Yeah.
That's a challenging business.
That's hard to do right.
That's a challenging business.
Hard
yeah.
to do right.
Yeah. So the tagline,
I'm looking at data.
our wings are good, but our breasts are the best, is the tagline
Really?
for Hooters. That's their tagline.
pretty
Just so I'm
good.
letting you know, that's their marketing collateral tag. Nicholas Erpy, good morning, gentlemen. What
Nicholas.
does Keith like to cook? We've been eating in as well, buying in bulk to keep costs down and just making things from scratch. Nicholas Erpy.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Nick, by the way, great pictures on your trip to Italy. We got to have a cocktail.
He did a heck of a job on Today Manana yesterday.
Did he really? I didn't get a chance
Thursdays,
to watch it.
10:15 a.m.
Good, good.
I Love CVille
Good for
Network.
him. Here's our problem. We work too much. And we get home like at 8 o'clock and then we throw something quick together. But I
Sounds
did,
like DiGiorno's Pizza over there,
No.
Nick.
Yesterday,
You're throwing shade on DiGiorno's Pizza?
I would never eat a frozen pizza.
Okay.
Never. I just wouldn't eat.
Okay.
Sorry, that's a bit snobbish, but I would
Touche.
I'd make myself a salad and move on. You ever look at the salt content in one of those things? That's the other thing you got to look at when you get a little bit older. Salt and cholesterol and all that stuff.
It's not delivery.
It's DiGiorno.
It's DiGiorno's.
I get it.
It's not delivery.
I got it. Yonna made my favorite meal on Sunday that and it's French, and it's ratatouille, and it's about the simplest dish you can.
Ratatouille.
Yeah,
Love that movie.
it's not the movie. It's
It's a
film.
great movie, though.
It is.
Recently watched it with our sons.
A little bit of a little bit of long grain rice on top of it. Glass of wine. It was
That
delicious.
rat is a genius in the kitchen.
Yeah. It's much like a martini. It's only 2 ingredients. It's hard to make a good martini. Ratatouille is actually hard to make well. It can go either way very quickly.
The Queen of Glenmore says this: politics versus policy. Politics is not policy. The proposed economic policies of Kamala Harris do not align with a free market economy. Do we really want government driven by politics to be involved with all aspects of trade in the economy, in policy? She further says, Joanne Mackey, to address price gouging in grocery stores, do we want the government involved in fuel prices, health benefits, pricing and labor pricing that bring products to the shelves? How any different than price gouging at local hotels during a football weekend? Supply and demand are primarily costs associated with that demand. So should the government intervene here? Price controls are not the basis of our economy. Real estate could be next, beware. And she also says, hope this makes better sense. I'm a better talker than writer. And she says, tell him frozen pizza is not bad, from a former Long Island New Yorker. Get a warm delivered pizza here. They don't deliver pizza to Glenmore. It's one of the challenges of living in Glenmore is the delivery.
Well, I would drive and get my pizza.
How about, do you get a lot of stuff delivered at Lake Monticello?
No. But
Do you have anything delivered to Lake Monticello?
you can. I just don't do it. We'll go to Villanova's and pick up a pizza. But for us, it's easy when we drive. That's sometimes what happens. 8 o'clock at night, we're leaving the office and we get on Toast and order a pizza and pick it up from Villanova's and have it for dinner, which I might do tonight. Got a long bike ride. I got a 50-mile bike ride tomorrow, so I might have to load up on some carbs. Back to the previous statement. I I lived under communism for a half a decade. So I know what that looks like, and I know what it does. And I'll just leave it at that. A lot of stories there, but we'll unpack in some other time. 281 closings in the car footprint in the last 30 days, 86 were cash. 131 was conventional.
So the third of the closings.
We're staying at a third.
Cash.
We've been hovering around a third for quite a while.
Nicholas Erpe also throwing shade on the frozen pizza. He loves the Ratatouille movie, though. And he says his wife's pizza is too good to settle.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Oh, well.
Wait till you have kids, Nicholas. Wait till you have kids, my friend. And then you're going to see the time you have to create food from scratch is zilch, zero,
So we used to make.
nada.
It's funny. The last time we actually made pizza at home was when we had the kids, because we made it a thing. It was a family thing. We did it on
When
Friday.
you made homemade pizzas when you had
When I had-
26 months old and babies screaming and needed to be
no. I used
bottle fed or breastfed and had poopy diapers and needed to go to bed at 6, and then another one that needed to go to bed at 7:30?
No.
Then you had to wake up at 5:30 to drive them to school? Get them ready for school?
Isn't that what duct tape is for?
Okay. I think it's easy to get it's easy to forget.
Well, it's funny. I didn't forget. I actually had to watch Ravenna yesterday, who's she's 20 months old.
Very close in age to our youngest son.
But it's easy for me.
Yeah, because you give them back.
And so they had, which I didn't know, this is a thing. So apparently in Montessori, you have to have a parent-teacher conference.
Yeah, that's a thing at every school.
In
I
Montessori,
just went. I just went to our oldest son's parent-teacher conference. That was
that I get. He's in
Tuesday
school.
night. He's in first grade.
He's in first grade.
Yeah.
This is Montessori.
He had parent-teacher conferences in pre-K 3 and pre-K 4.
Yeah, I'm showing my age. We never did that kind of stuff.
Scott Morris, welcome to the program.
hey,
Scotty
Scott.
Mo, you're getting a lot of props on the program from viewers and listeners, just to give you a heads up.
So
A lot of people miss you, Scotty Mo.
ditto, me included. So they did this thing, and I was watching Ravenna from like 3 until 7, and I got a list of what I was supposed to do, and I smiled, and I said, Ravenna, let's go for a ride. And we went out to a place, and we had something to eat. And
Would you go to Chuck E. Cheese or something?
No. I went to, there's a place called Stella's
Okay.
in Richmond, and went there, got her a sandwich.
So you did not do the instruction. There you go. I should expect that. How did your daughter respond when she got home? There you go. What are you going to do?
It was very nice. It was a well-written list.
And nothing on the list was done?
I think
This is what grandparents can do, though.
I think the top one was keep her safe. I got
Yeah,
that covered.
there you go.
I got
Kept her
that
alive.
covered.
That's all. That's all.
Yeah, no, we went out and flirted with some people, and we had a great time. And there's a high
In
school.
that scenario, do you take the car seat from your daughter's car and put it in your car? Or do
Yeah.
you drive your daughter's car?
No, we transferred it over.
The car seat over, okay,
Actually,
Yeah.
you brought up a subject that I got hit with yesterday.
Buy your own car seat?
Daddy, it'd be really nice if you had
your own car seat,
Your
yeah.
hard car seat.
And you're like, I need my truck to take my clients out.
Yeah, she knows better than that.
Wait, because you're saying you're meeting your clients.
Yeah.
You're not driving anymore.
Yeah.
Do any of the agents drive them anymore? Is it all meat now?
I think it's all. I mean,
It's
who
all
knows?
meat?
I mean, I'm sure
COVID changed that too.
COVID definitively changed that, right?
At the time pre-COVID, you jump in the car with the agent.
And I'll tell you, I want to give another shout out to Michael Guthrie.
Yeah.
He's been on the forefront of agent safety,
Okay.
right? And it's a thing, right? We have a policy. You meet people either in a public space or whatever. Somebody you've never met, don't have a relationship. If you're not going to meet them at a house, to go, regardless of paperwork and all that kind of great stuff. But yeah, very rarely I put somebody in my vehicle. It's the whole purpose I bought the truck I got was for that reason. But yeah, we don't put that in there. So guess I got to put a car seat in.
Yeah, put the car seat in right there. We have the same argument, not an argument, the conversation with
Yours?
my parents. Yeah.
You put it. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, it's just. We had a great time. I'll tell the story and then we got to wrap up because it's 11:20.
Yeah, I see.
11:20.
I see the time.
All the houses that we built over the years. Did I tell you this story?
I've heard this story many times, but
Okay.
it's a good one. Tell the viewers and listeners.
Yeah, so we built like 600 houses and blah, 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 blah. Most of them, a huge percentage of them were retirees coming out of the Northeast, funny accents like me, right? I could never understand when I was in my 20s, my 30s, and my 40s, and the beginning of my 50s, why I couldn't get appointments with these people. They're retired. And now I understand it. It's like yesterday I got the phone call. Hey, Daddy, we need some help, da-da-da-da-da-da. And I said, okay, I could do what I got to do on my phone or on a laptop at her house. I'm on my way. And I ended up going there to help out and had a great time and put a huge smile on my face. And any opportunity to do that, the same thing, we're going to, we're very blessed. We're going out to Phoenix next week to speak. Both my daughters and both our youngest granddaughters are going to fly out there with us, and we're going to hang out with us. And I can't tell you, it's great to do the summit. I've been asked to speak. I mean, that's going to be wonderful. This award is wonderful, but spending a couple of days with my two granddaughters, it's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Show the award, the Good Neighbor Award winner.
Yeah.
Virginia Realtors Association.
Yay. And, more importantly, with two awesome local real estate gurus, Denise Ramey. Sorry, Denise. And Michael Guthrie. Sorry, Denise.
We love Denise as well.
11:21. You got a show today.
RealTalkWithKeithSmith.com. Click the Partners tab on RealTalkWithKeithSmith.com and see the trusted advisors in the game we call real estate, personally vetted by Keith Smith, who's been in business since 1987. These are the folks you count on to get you to the closing table. You can also see them on screen. This show, Real Talk with Keith Smith, has been on air for more than 6 years, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, sure. And he still sucks at it.
Years. Judah Wickower, the man behind the camera. Keith.
Neil Williamson sitting in my seat next Friday because we're going to be out in Phoenix.
President of the Free Enterprise Forum. Love Neil
I
Williamson.
think he's going to have some surprise guests.
Neil.
Well, he's working on it. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I love it when it's just you and I have.
Dude, the show is on fire.
Thank you, man.
So much fun.
Thank
the I
you.
Love CVille show, guys, is up in 1 hour and 8 minutes. Get ready and giddy up. So long, everybody.
Bye.